What's up, my guys and gals, if you're out there? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We're going to do a review of the SpydieChef. Yeah, just got it. Been a Spyderco guy for a long time and just never got around to getting a chef until now. And I really like it. Let's check it out. Let's do some quick size comparisons here. Here is a native 5. And let's throw up a Mannix. About the same size as the Mannix there. How about, let's do a mini Beluga. Whoopsie. And let's do a shootout. I'm just picking random stuff here. How about a XM18? And we'll do one more. How's about a Quiet Carry Drift? This is a knife that gets compared to the Drift a few times. Similar characteristics here, both completely stainless. And I guess that's really the only comparison. But yeah, these are both completely stainless knives. And both really good knives. So let's see here. Let's take some quick measurements. Blade length, 3 1/4 inches. Handle, about 4 1/2. Overall, just under 8 inches, 7 7/8-ish. How about blade stock and behind the edge thickness? This is known for being a very good food prep knife, very good on flat surfaces. That's kind of its specialty, hence the name. So this is a really good slicer. Let's see. Blade stock thickness is 118 thousandths. Behind the edge, we've got 19 there, 19 there, 19 thousandths there. So not crazy thin behind the edge. Pretty average. But we have a full flat grind and a thin grind overall, just not quite super thin behind the edge. And I haven't really noticed it needing to be even thinner behind the edge. I haven't seen any issue of it slicing so far. You can see down there in the plunge grind how much material has been taken out of the blade stock. And it's quite a bit. So yeah, this thing slices really well. I'm going to do a cut test video with it later this week. But I've been using it a lot in the kitchen and just around the house. So I know how it cuts, and it cuts really good. So this is a Taichung, Taiwan made Spyderco, kind of in the Sleesh Bowie family with the sway back, the Paisan, the Drunken. One I have here is the sway back. We can compare these two. Yeah, look at that. Now we have the really nice mirror stonewash on the sway back here, and a few of the other Taichung Taiwans. But here is just a built satin finish on the chef. Still really nice, but not super shiny, beautiful like on the sway back. Not sure why. Maybe it's because of the LC200N, something with the characteristics of the steel. But whatever it is, yeah, that's just how it is. The finish on the titanium is very similar, though. Let's see. Catch the light. Yeah, very, very similar. Something that I think is going to look really nice as it kind of wears, gets some snail trails and dings and dents. It's going to start looking really nice. We got a wire clip here. Works really well. Kind of a darkened, stonewashed wire clip, not like one of the shiny ones. Yeah, lock bars look very similar on both of these here. Actually, I'm seeing some definite similarities. This little notch taken out up here, we got that on both of them. Yeah, ergonomically this is really interesting. It feels kind of unlike any other knife that I've held, really. It's got kind of this hump right there, which nestles right in your hand or right about in the middle, which feels super nice. It kind of just nestles right in there and it feels great. Now there's no choke up spot, but you are right up here, nice and close to the edge where it starts, so that's completely fine with me. The sharpening choil is interesting. They kind of just made a cut back this way, and it serves the purpose, you know. The plunge grind is typical Spyderco 90-degree plunge, which is Excelente, and so that means that you can get further out this way and it's not getting thick. So that's great. This should be really nice and easy to sharpen. Um, the titanium handles are not contoured, just flat. Is there? Nope, no milling on the inside. Kind of cool. I got some standoffs back there, a lanyard hole, a reversible spot for the clip, black hardware, the lock bar cutout access thing is perfect. Very easy to get in there, no problem whatsoever. The action, this is on washers, and it's really smooth. Very smooth. Is it as smooth as the sway back? Because the sway back is like luxuriously smooth. I don't think it's quite as smooth, at least. At least now. Maybe it'll break in that way. But man, this thing is like just, it just glides, man. It's probably the finish on the blade, you know. It has this, you know, obviously smoother finish. That might be why. Whatever it is, the sway back is a little smoother, but this is very, very smooth. It drops to your fingernail. Really nice. This is completely rust proof. When I first got it, I got the second hand. It was dirty on the inside. I just put it under the sink. Literally just put it under the sink and rinsed it out, which felt weird to do. Felt like counterintuitive, but I did it, and it was great, man. You know, when you're done cooking with this thing, cutting up a bunch of veggies, tomatoes, get some juice in there, just rinse it off. You're fine. Just dry off the outside. You don't have to take it apart and dry it out. It's going to be fine. And I thought maybe after I rinsed it out, maybe it would feel less smooth, you know? Maybe I washed some of the oil out of the pivot or something, but no. It is just as smooth. And I've rinsed it out like 5 times already over the course of me owning the knife so far. And yeah, it's just kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be able to do that. I've seen people rinse out knives that weren't completely rust proof, but had maybe like a stainless steel, like I don't know, M390 or something, which I guess you can, but I don't know. I'm kind of OCD about stuff getting in my pivots. Like I really don't like it. I really don't like moisture getting in there. But I just don't have to think about it with this knife. So that's cool. Blade. Very interesting blade shape. It's a sheep's foot, but with a lot of belly. Well, I guess it's not like drastic, severe belly. It's gradual belly, but the way the blade is shaped, it comes way high up here. Now, it's interesting because typically high tips are not good for utility cutting, but it's not actually a high tip. Check this out. If we kind of line up the handle on this crack right here, kind of center it best we can, the tip's still way down here. That's because the blade comes down first and then up. And so since it came down so far to begin with and then went up, it's still pretty low. And you don't have to get around the belly to get to the tip. So it just feels honestly like a regular sheep's foot knife doing utility cuts. Just boop, you're right there. You're right at the tip. Nice and easy. Kind of cool, man. Kind of a cool blade shape. And it feels interesting when you're first cutting with it. It just feels like you're not used to it. It just feels kind of odd. Not in a bad way. You're not used to it, you know? It's an interesting, cool, weird blade shape. Now, one of the cool things about the Chef is you can reverse flick it. You can actually get to the hole, which I think is a real plus. With a few of the other Taichung Spydercos, you cannot. Now, this one, I tried to cut away some of the lock bars so you can get to the hole, and I cut away as much as I felt comfortable without making this lock bar too thin, and I still can't get in there. I think I'm going to make the hole bigger. That might help. But, you know, you can see where the lock bar was before I cut anything out. It was like that, and you could barely even see the hole. So, definitely not reverse flickable on the sway back. And it wasn't front flippable either until I did the front flip mod on it. I carved away some of the scale, added some jimping there. Now I can front flip my sway back, and I like the knife a lot more now because while it is very nice and satisfying to slow roll it out, really smooth, and you can thumb flick it, not super easily, but you can do it. I kind of wanted one more deployment, and so the front flipper mod is really easy to do. If you want to do one, go for it, or you can send it to me. I'll do it for you. Really changes the sway back. But anyways, this one, don't have to worry about it. It's already an accessible hole. So, not as much access to the hole as, like a PM2. Some of it's covered up, but it's easy to get to. You can do it. Definitely. Thumb flick it. Yep. It's probably most easily thumb flicked. Really easy to thumb flick. Easier than the sway back. And yeah, that's about it. This knife is I really like it. I think I haven't really carried it for EDC yet, and I think I'm going to do that this week. So we'll see how it does for that kind of thing, and I'm sure it'll be great because typically if a knife does good for food preppy stuff, it's going to do good for my kinds of EDC tasks because I do a lot of cutting up of cardboard, making either putting it in the trash or making templates for making parts out of metal, or doing stuff on a flat surface like a cutting board type thing, cutting up rubber hosing, ropes, that kind of thing. And those are the two kinds of cutting I do most. So that's something that this knife is good at. So that'll be, I already know it's going to be good for EDC. So there you go. SpydieChef. I'm late to the party, but at least I showed up. There you go, folks. Like the video before you leave. That would help me out a lot, and I'll see you soon.